we have a new character revealed to be, I don't even want to pronounce her name, but if I had to take a guess, I would say, yeah, I'm not going to do it. That would get me demonetized. But anyways, we have Double H. That's such a weird way of saying her name. Anyways, this character is very interesting to me because, first of all, she is an abundance character, and that means she is a defensive option, or could be a defensive. Well, she's most definitely going to be a defensive option because any character that is of the abundance path is presented as a healer character. So she has healing baked into her kit in some way, shape, or form. Now, what I find even more interesting is that we just got Fushuan. We've had Luocha not that long ago, and now we're getting another defensive option. So that has me believing that she's going to provide something that is different than the current cast of healers or defensive options in the game. Because Fushuan herself has been really cracked, and Lynx is really strong as well, being a 4-star option. So you can expect, HH to be extremely good in her own way. So I just realized that Luocha's name is Luo in the beginning, and that character's name started with an H instead of an L. So her name is maybe pronounced Huo. So HuoHuo, HuoHuo, HuoHuo. I may be just absolutely destroying the character's name. But anyways, her being the first limited abundance character means a couple of things. First of all, we expect her to be better than Bailu in most scenarios, but that isn't saying much because Fushuan is a better Bailu essentially in most ways you would compare the two characters. Most situations you would use both of them in. So that means that Bailu is going to be a character that is going to be even more obsolete in the near future with the release of a character like HuoHuo. But what I find even more interesting is that Bailu already does get this a lot as a standard banner character. So that means Huo will probably do even more than a character like Bailu already does. But if I had to take a guess, one of the things Bailu's miss is a cleanse, but we already have so many cleansers in the game. So what could Huo provide that is different from a character like Bailu other than cleansing effects? Well, I think being able to buff the team as well would be very valuable, because Bailu can only heal, she can't necessarily buff the team. Although making your team arguably way more tankier than they are previously, I think a character that can heal and provide an attack buff at the same time will be extremely valuable. The closest thing we have to that is a character like Luocha. Luocha does give skill points because he has a lot more skill point positive. You really never have to use the elemental skill in this character, and if you do, it is used as an emergency usage. But for the most part, he is always going to be providing skill points, which means more damage for your overall DPS characters in your team comps. Eidolon 1 allows Luocha to give an attack buff to the team. 20% is a huge number. We take into consideration, you'll have this nearly 100% on uptime. Now, what if we had an abundance character that was able to give an attack buff and a major heal to the team without having to get Eidolons in order to do so? I think that character would be much better in situations where you don't necessarily need a cleanse. And maybe a specific team comp I have in mind is where a character like that would excel really well in. So for me, this is a very interesting team, and I'll explain why. You have only one cleanser in the team, and that is Bronya. But Bronya is here to cleanse your main damage dealer in the team. So I think if HuoHuo was a character that was able to provide attack buffs alongside healing, she would be leagues above in place of a character like Bailu in a team comp like this, where you want to give that extra push to your damage dealer. And being able to heal as well makes that character the defensive option you would need in the team comp. So a character like HuoHuo would be very valuable in a team like this. And that is if she had an attack buff, but there's no telling what the character could do. I'm only just inferring stuff off the top of my head. As I said previously, we've just gotten another cleansing character, and she's in the form of a 4-star. You can get her relatively easily from Fushuan's banner, and in the future you probably will be getting this character off pity. Now, one of the things I find very interesting about Lynx is that she has the most cleanses out of any character in the game currently. You see, she's able to mass cleanse with her ultimate, which acts as an AoE, and she's able to cleanse with her elemental skill, which makes her even more valuable. You take it also into consideration that she can increase the effect resist of your allies, depending on, of course, what Eidolons you have for the character. This makes her a very, very valuable option as a defensive 4-star character. So what I'm trying to say is we already have so many cleansers in the game currently, and one of those cleansers you get for free. You see, 4-star Natasha, you may not use her at this point in the game, especially if you have some of the newer defensive options. She is still a pretty solid character to use for most players in the game. I mean, she gets the job done, and that's all you can ask for from a healer. And with that being said, I don't expect them to add another cleanser to the game, because that would be pretty much, I would say, flooding the pool of already existing cleansers, and in turn would make a lot of those cleansers maybe obsolete, and I don't think that's something HuoHuo would want so soon. I mean, heck, even March 7th, another character you get for free can cleanse with her elemental skill. Now that might not say much because she is a preservation character, but if you let that sink in for a second, she is a preservation character, which is also known as a defensive option, much like the abundance characters that can also cleanse. So she is an abundance hybrid. So that only solidifies what I said before of them not really going to add another cleanser anytime soon. And lastly, with the release of HuoHuo, I believe that defensive options are about to get a lot more crazy in the near future. I mean, just take a character like this. She turns your allies into squishies. She enables the mono quantum comp because she is a defensive option in that team composition of the same element as a character like Silverwolf. She also gives crit rate to the whole team. The buffs she provides to the team, the HP buff, the crit buff, is dependent on her own turns, so whether or not she's fast or slow doesn't really matter. And she is a character that is able to mitigate damage to the whole team. So she is pretty much top tier when it comes to being a defensive character, and being able to make allies resistance to CC allows her to act as an abundance hybrid. So as I said before, I don't believe we'll get another cleanser anytime soon, but you exactly see what I'm trying to say here. Defensive options, abundance, and preservation characters going forward are going to be a lot more crazy, like HuoHuo, for example. HuoHuo has a very interesting way of bringing characters from the past back to relevancy. I mean, look at the release of HuoHuo. A character like Jing is now able to perform at his best because he has a character that provides him with the buffs he needs. Crit rate, making him more tanky, allowing him to resist crowd control, allows him to excel at what he wants to do now, and that is act as a damage dealer. Now, if we have more characters in the future, even characters that have not been as good as they once were previously will now be brought back to relevancy, like Jing, because of the release of very strong and overloaded characters like Fu, for example. But if HuoHuo is a character that is overloaded just like Fu, you can expect more characters on the level of Jing as before to be much better now. So there you have it. I'm pretty sure that the character has been data mined somewhere within the Honkai Star Rail, I would say deep web. Of course, every character at this point has been leaked within that deep web. I personally don't bring up leaks in this channel because I don't want to risk my channel getting taken down, but I'm sure some of you probably already know what this character does. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I am looking forward to the release of HuoHuo. I think she's going to be a very nice abundance character to have in your team comps, especially if you have a team like I showed earlier, because I truly do believe she will be a character that will be replacing Bailu in team comps like that. And that is only if she provides, ways of allowing your characters to do more damage. If she doesn't do any of that and she cleanses just like Luocha, again, I don't see why they would add another character like Luocha at this point. There can only be so many cleansers until it becomes kind of redundant and they start losing out on money because you already have an option that exists that wants to do that same job. Anyways, I'm done here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy and have a nice rest of your day or night. Peace.